Hey friends, welcome to the Thrive Advisor podcast, where we help tax advisory firm owners build practices that are sustainable and profitable. I'm your host, Aaron Siegel. Early in my practice, I tried to be everything to everyone. My close rate was sky high, which sounds great, but if you're closing 90%, you were priced too low. I was charging $299 a month for advisory and compliance work without books, and every client felt like a brand new project. I had no way to run 3 clean pricing tiers because nothing was repeatable. Today, I run 3 simple packages, and almost everyone fits into one of them. My average client pays $625 a month, and I still carry a few legacy accounts that remind me that the imposter tax can follow you for years. If you're new, scared, or hungry, and you want to build it right the first time, this episode is for you. By the end of the episode, you'll know how to tighten your niche, package clean 3-tier pricing, and stop paying the imposter tax. You'll leave with a 7-day action plan that you can start today, plus a couple of simple safeguards that let you say no with confidence. So first, let's define the imposter tax. Here's our working definition in easy language. When you fall into the imposter mindset, you take on more clients who are more demanding, and they're paying less than you deserve. You carry a hidden tax in time, stress, and money. You build custom solutions repeatedly because nothing is repeatable. Your pricing is inconsistent because every client is a one-off. Here's 3 examples to make this real. First, you discount a proposal without being asked because you're afraid of losing the deal. That cycle repeats 3 times, and suddenly your month is full, yet your margins are razor thin. The second is you accept a client who tells you they're simple, but then they bring you a spreadsheet stack, a unique chart of accounts, and a payroll provider you've never heard of. Now your nice clean workflow is jammed. And third, you can't even publish transparent pricing on your website because every engagement is a new scope. You spend precious time on custom proposals for everyone instead of marketing and delivery. So here's 3 signals that you might be paying the imposter tax. The first is your clients are treated as unique, so simple workflows never stick. The second is your prices vary widely, and you feel like you're working too much for too little. And third is you're working too many hours for too few clients because you're constantly reinventing the wheel. So here's a 1-minute diagnostic. So open up your billing or proposal system and answer 2 questions. First is, how many different monthly prices are your clients paying right now? If you can't count them on one hand, that's a problem. And second, can you fit your work into 3 consistent offerings? If not, you're probably paying the tax. And here's why a tight niche can kill this tax. When you serve everyone, you become the expert for no one. A tight niche lets you become the one-of-a-kind option. Your people hear you and they think, that's my advisor. The real win is not clever marketing language. The win is simple, repeatable systems. So let's put some structure to this. I want you to think people, problem, promise. So the people are the exact type of business owner you want to serve. The problem is the few painful patterns that keep showing up for those people repeatedly. And the promise is the clear outcome that you deliver through your unique offer. When these 3 things stack up, your systems will click into place. When you meet with the same niche every week, your interviews become smooth. Your kickoffs feel natural. You learn what matters to these business owners at a deeper level. You see the same patterns in the books, in the KPIs, and in the cash flow. Your advisory notes get sharper, and your tax planning becomes a focused set of high-impact moves. You stop guessing, and you start guiding. With a proper niche, 3-tier pricing becomes simple. Most of your clients fit the same mold. Your bronze, silver, and gold packages cover 90% or more of your total sales. You stop doing custom work. You stop discounting out of fear. You stop overpromising to win the deal. As Alex Hormozy would say, if your close rate is too high, the price is too low. A tight niche and straightforward packaging makes the value evident to your people. And let's look at when a niche can be too broad. Here's the common trap. Let's say you work with physicians. That sounds like a niche. Now compare a locum physician who runs a single member PLLC and works 6 to 9 months a year on a 1099 income with a clinic owner who has staff, a lease, insurance billing, payroll, and real AR and AP. Those are very different businesses. And here's 3 ways mixing those can break your systems and your pricing. First is the bookkeeping complexity. So locum books mostly involve 1099 income, travel, and accountable plan. A clinic owner is dealing with insurance billing, payroll, AR, AP, and vendor payables. Your standard chart of accounts breaks if you try to force both into the same template. The second is your advisory cadence and planning. So your locums are going to need help with multi-state filing and entity issues, travel rules, and retirement plan design, such as a solo 401k or possibly a defined benefit plan. Your clinic owners need staff planning, safe harbor plans, cash flow and margin analysis, and space decisions. So if you're trying to design one template for both, you're going to end up rewriting it every single month. And the third is kind of the obvious one here, pricing logic. So locums are going to be lower ticket, but higher volume, and they're probably going to have spotless books. Your clinics are higher ticket. They're going to require much more team touch and deeper financial operations. If you keep both, you're either going to overbuild your locum offer or you're going to underprice the clinic offer. And both of those hurt. So the solution here is pick one, go deep, and then become the one of one. That's how you stop paying the imposter tax. And here's a quick math check to expose this tax for you. So let's do some quick napkin math to make this cost visible. Imagine you're charging a clinic owner $1,000 a month to, quote, stay competitive, but the scope requires 20 hours a month between you and your team for billing cleanup, payroll issues, and AR questions. So your effective rate is $50 an hour before software and your admin costs. Now, imagine you filled that same slot with a locum client, but at $789 a month, who fits your template. They take 6 to 8 hours, including meetings, reconciliations, and targeted planning. And it rarely involves context switching. Your effective rate now is between $98 and $131 an hour before your software and admin. Over a quarter, that difference is 40 to 75 hours back in your life and hundreds of dollars of more margin without working anymore. Multiply that by a dozen clients, and your calendar and your cash both look better. That's the imposter tax made visible. And here's the offer that stays simple. I teach my clients the ABCs. We handle advisory, bookkeeping, and compliance. It's the same core services at 3 different access levels. So on our bronze plan, we offer quarterly meetings, email access for questions, and all the essentials. When you go to the silver tier, you're meeting every 2 months. You get access to additional weekly office hours and priority email support. At the gold tier, you move to monthly meetings. You get text messaging access with the advisor, front of the line support, and the concierge touches like transcript monitoring or help coordinating those foreign entity registrations. Here's 2 notes that keep this from becoming time for money for you. First is we're pricing the transformation. So we have to focus on the outcomes over the deliverables. Clean books on one chart of accounts, predictable advisory rhythms, taxes handled on time with no surprises. The second is we add access perks that feel premium but don't consume your time. So priority renewals, message access within Guardrails, and faster turnarounds are available on your terms. If you prefer, you can use a scope stack model where each tier adds services such as bookkeeping followed by CFO services. For smaller firms, I like the access tier approach because the engine stays simple and you're not reinventing your scope every month. Both can work if you keep the rules tight. Now next, let's take a look at some guardrails that help you say no. So let's put these rails on the road so you feel safe, saying no to people. The first is set a walkaway price for every client. For example, I don't take clients with a budget under $500 a month. Whatever that is for you is good. The second is control your tech stack. So as an example, perhaps you use QuickBooks Online, Gusto, and Guideline for 401ks. No exceptions. The third is standardize your chart of accounts. So if someone won't adopt that chart of accounts, they're probably not a fit for you. Fourth is no custom pricing. So if your prospect can't fit into one of those 3 packages comfortably, they're not a fit. And fifth is keep a short ideal fit checklist. So industry, size, complexity, attitude. You pass if you get a yes on 3 out of 4. Remember, unique stops momentum. Repeatable creates profit. So before we get tactical, I want to meet the 3 significant objections head on and then give you some reframes you can borrow. Think of this as a quick mindset reset so you can replay it before your sales calls. First objection: I don't have enough leads, so I have to say yes to everyone. Here's the reframe. Saying yes to everyone keeps you invisible. You need to pick one room and become known there so your lead flow compounds. You show up weekly with helpful content, you collect specific wins, and ask for targeted introductions inside of that room. Coach Michael Burt refers to this as becoming a person of interest. You do that faster when the room is small and specific. The second objection is, I can't charge market rates because I'm new. Here's the reframe. We're pricing the outcome, not your birthday. Tight scope, clear outcomes, and access perks let you charge fairly on day one. Just use a simple value ladder. Bronze solves the core pain. Silver adds access. Gold adds speed and concierge touches. Remember, new does not mean cheap. It means you're focused and reliable. The third objection, I hear it all the time, is I don't know enough strategies, so I need another pricing mastermind. Here's the reframe. Your depth beats your breadth. You have to learn the 10 plays that matter for your niche and then repeat them until you are the obvious choice. Think fundamentals first. So topics include cash flow, tax posture, bookkeeping fidelity, owner decisions. Master those, and you will outperform the random 101 strategy tactics every time. And here's a story about my practice. I used to take on anyone with a checkbook who was in a service-based business. I ended up with about 60 clients across many industries. I couldn't standardize. I couldn't price with any confidence because I didn't know the effort until I was deep into the work. And after that first year, I ultimately had to raise my prices dramatically and let go of clients who were too far out of the norm. When I committed to my niche of course and membership creators, everything changed. It was the same chart of accounts, consistent advisory cadence, clear KPIs, cleaner conversations, more confidence. Prices went up and the close rate stayed high because I was speaking directly to the right people. Then I could refine my systems, consider adding offshore support, and spend my time where I add the most value, which is real advisory for creators about their life and business. So here's your 7-day action plan. It's a tight plan you can execute this week, and each step has a yes or no checkpoint. Step 1, we're going to identify the clients you love and where they gather. So ask your current clients that you like which trade groups and communities they value. Try to join those groups, show up and contribute, and share a helpful checklist or just answer a common question that you see. And here's the checkpoint. Did you join one group and make at least one helpful post or comment? Step 2, we're going to lock in your 3 tiers. So if a prospect can't fit into your 3 tiers, we're not going to onboard them. If you need a complexity dimension, we can go to a simple 9 box. It has 3 tiers and 3 complexity bands. But our goal here is really to simplify and keep it at 3. That checkpoint is, can you explain your packages to a prospect in 30 seconds each? If it takes more than 30 seconds, you've gone too complicated. The third step is, I want you to audit the uniqueness within your firm. So go through and list every one-off service you sold in the last 90 days. We need to cut those oddballs out and keep the fundamentals. And the checkpoint here is, can you delete or sunset at least one of these unique services? And here's a bonus. Create just a 2-question ideal fit filter. So an example, do they operate in your chosen niche? And are they willing to adopt your tech stack? If the answer is no on either, the call becomes a polite decline. And here's a simple first call framework. It's a lightweight first call flow you can repeat with confidence. It keeps you in control and it keeps your meeting under 30 minutes. So you open with context. I specialize in your niche. I use a 3-tier model. We're going to ask 3 core questions. So what are you trying to build in the next 12 months? What's not working in your books or your taxes right now? And how fast do you want to move? We want to mirror back the pattern you see and name the likely package. So for example, based on our earlier example of locum doctors, based on what you shared, most locum physicians like you choose silver for the access and the renewal speed. We're going to confirm the fit in the next steps. So we'll share a one-page scope document, confirm the monthly price, and schedule their kickoff. We're not doing custom quotes or long proposals with people. And your goal here is to become the 1 in a million advisor for your people. Not the loudest, not the cheapest, the one that your niche could not imagine replacing. That only happens when you study them, serve them, and design systems for them. A tight niche, simple systems, clean pricing. That is how you stop paying the imposter tax. The way out of the imposter feeling is not to have more clients at bargain rates. The way out is clarity, repetition, and the confidence that comes from doing the same high-value work for the same type of client repeatedly. If you're ready to build systems with advisors who get it, come join us in the Thrive Advisor Collective on School. The link's in the show notes. And more importantly, if this sparked a light bulb for you, share this episode with another advisor who's stuck in generalist mode and needs a push to pick a lane. You've been listening to the Thrive Advisor podcast. Work smarter, serve better, thrive always. We'll see you next time.